Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to your show, E-Coffee with Experts. This is your host, Ranmay here, and today we have Steve Herz, who is the CEO and President of Moonstone Interactive with us. Hey, Steve.
Hi, how are you? Thank you
All
for
good,
having me
Steve. How are
today.
you?
Good.
Lovely. Steve, before we take it forward, let's get to know the human behind the mic. Talk us through your journey. How did you land up in the digital marketing space, and how did you start Moonstone Interactive? How has been the journey so far, and what Moonstone Interactive is all about?
Well, Moonstone Interactive, starting there, and then I'll go how I got in there. Moonstone Interactive is, in essence, a company that helps businesses optimize their website presence from a business perspective. And most of our customers come to us because they haven't been able to achieve the results they want. And we help them achieve those results by analyzing their position, giving them the right tools, and setting them up for success.
Lovely, lovely. And Steve, given your extensive experience at Visa International, how do you think the future of global e-commerce will be shaped, and particularly with the increasing focus on data-driven strategies and cross-border transactions?
Well, I mean, if you look at the history, I started in online e-commerce and this whole
Hmm.
space in 1995 at the very beginning, and we have had quite a ride from
Yeah.
then to now, and very significant improvements and very significant adoption. And I believe it's just going to continue. One of the important things is since I came from Visa, is to make sure that you're doing business online with someone who looks legitimate and has security on their site and has all those basic things covered so that you know that they're a legitimate site. And that's just a personal thing that you need to pay attention to so you don't end up somewhere you don't want to be.
Hmm. Great. And then with the evolving online landscape, Steve, we are in this, dynamic of volatile industry which kind of keeps on changing with the Google updates and everything, right? How do you approach strategic planning for businesses to ensure, that they stay competitive and also, future-proof?
Well, we look at a holistic picture
Mm-hmm.
where we help our clients look at themselves today and looking toward the future based on who is looking at them, how is the market perceiving them. So we start with looking at Google, the 800-pound gorilla in the SEO space, how they look at them, how Google sees them, because we want to make sure that they are positioned so that they don't have any errors, they demonstrate quality, they give Google what Google's looking for. But then we're also wanting to look very strongly at the competition. So we put in context of who their main competitors are and how they
Mm-hmm.
look relative to their competition. And then the third piece is we look at how the visitors are behaving on the site. So we actually we dig deep into looking at the behavior, where the points of friction are when the visitors on the site, what types of visitors and what paths or experience actually leads to conversion or engagement. And
Mm-hmm.
we put all that together and then recommend tools, meaning the website platform, the content management system, marketing automation, whatever is appropriate to their goals, so that they can have the capability to move with the market, because the market will continually change. Consumers change, technology changes, Google changes, everyone changes. And if they have the right tools that they can see those changes and the effect on their business, then they can future-proof themselves by being part of that evolutionary path and watching the impact on their presence. That makes sense?
Absolutely, Steve. And then you would be speaking to a lot of businesses, right? As an agency owner, what are some of the common mistakes feel that businesses make, regarding the website that kind of affects their effectiveness and hampers their objectives in terms of achieving their goals?
Well, the two mistakes I think that are common in the industry. One is sometimes companies do not set up their key performance indicators, their main metrics about their business and about their website and user experience. If they
Mhm.
don't set up the feedback to actually see what's happening, then they don't make the adjustments. So sometimes people build the website and then they kind of cross that off and they move on. Website and the whole experience is a living thing. You've got to pay attention to it just like you would if you hired a salesperson. You pay attention to what they're doing. Are
Right.
they doing sales? Are they making calls? Whatever it is. Website's no different. You got to pay attention to it. That's a first mistake. The other mistake is a lot of times I see companies making decisions on price. So they might say, oh, I don't want to get this marketing automation because it costs X amount of dollars. I think that perspective is not as good as looking at what is the return on investment. If you invest in that, how could you use that capability or tool to help your business? And what is the return on that investment? So whether it costs $1 or $10,000 is not really the question. The question is, if I spend 10,000 and am I going to make 50,000? That's the type of question they should be asked. So the two things are
Mhm.
not measuring, not looking at the data, and making decisions only on price, not on actually contribution or value.
Absolutely. And then, as a marketer, we understand that, customer acquisition costs have risen, right? So, according to what are some of the effective strategies, for e-commerce businesses in particular to optimize, customer retention and loyalty?
Well, the thing I'd recommend most on customer retention and, sales conversion, things like that, is to actually look at the customer experience. Today, everything's about customer experience. It always should have been, but there's a lot of emphasis on today. In particular, in e-commerce, you have the potential to get a huge amount of data on the journey through the website. At each point you're going through, from shopping all the way through to paying, look at that where you're losing people, where there's points of friction, where you're abandoned, and monitor that closely and address those changes that are necessary. There's so much data that you can get to actually assess the customer's journey and experience. Make sure you're getting it and make sure you follow up on that. And e-commerce is just perfect for that type of analysis. We call it the funnel, the e-commerce funnel. Look at how they're going through the funnel, where they're falling off, figure out why and address it. And your sales and conversion rate will go up directly. It is one of the most effective ways you can improve that.
Lovely. And according to you, Steve, what are some of the common pitfalls, businesses fall into when conducting their ROI analysis, and how do you feel that they can avoid, committing those mistakes?
Well, one of the things that I think is common is that to do what I'm talking about, setting up the data, setting up the tracking, monitoring it, evaluating it, is very tedious.
Yeah.
It's a lot of data. You need to set it up and make sure it's set up right in your monitoring. quite frankly, a lot of companies are busy running their company. If they don't have the time to do that, hire someone.
Yeah.
Hire someone to do that, whether it's an agency like Moonstone or whoever it is, just hire someone to do it. Yes, it's more expense, but then you get those insights, you can make better decisions and improve your overall conversion rate and return on investment. So one of the pitfalls, I think, is it is tedious and you've got to learn it and people don't have time. So if you don't have time, hire someone. Would be what I'd recommend.
Lovely. That was a nice pitch, Steve, for all of us agencies out there.
Well, I mean, it's so true. I can't
Yeah,
tell
it
you
is.
how many times I
I
talk to a
can.
company and they don't do it because they don't have time. And I
Yeah, yeah.
understand that, but they still should do it.
Yeah, I mean,
Another
that's not.
another thing that I'd like to interject here, if you don't mind, is
Hmm.
experimentation. So when you want to make a change, or you're introducing something new, or you're trying to solve a problem, if you have the right tools, you can experiment, do A/B testing, multivariate testing, and actually get the behavior of your visitors to help you make the right decision for them and you. Because when you're evaluating A versus B on a change, and you see B gives you a 30% greater conversion rate, it's a no-brainer. But if you don't know that, then you might make a mistake. And in the industry, sometimes we say, don't fall into the hippo problem.
Yeah.
Now, hippo, a lot of people don't know what that means. What it means is that in some companies, the highest paid individual is whose opinion drives the decision. So what that
Mhm.
means is if the CEO of a company says, well, I think the website should work like this, then everyone does it. Well, that's
Yeah.
that's actually the opinion of one person, and it's a very important person, it's a very important opinion. But if you test 1,000 visitors and they
Hmm.
say something else works better, which one should you pick? If you
Very true.
want conversion rate, you pick the one that's your visitors, right?
Right.
And if your
Absolutely.
CEO will thank you at the end of the day. So,
Yeah.
so data in our digital world, data is everywhere. But it's
True.
tedious, it's minutia to get it, but it's there and you can make better decisions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Steve, considering today's environment, the space that we all are in, how do you see the role of, artificial intelligence evolving in the
Hmm.
space of online marketing in particular?
I think AI is really going to help improve productivity
Hmm.
because AI can help start and help draft and help do research and things of that nature today. However, I don't think anyone yet, maybe in the future, but not right now, should trust AI 100% because
Yeah.
we've played with it and it does need to be validated. Don't trust it
Yeah.
because
All right.
it could be embarrassing, but it can get you to a blog article or an article or whatever. It can get you there faster because it can pull information through and do a draft. Then make it your own. That's
Right.
what I would recommend. But it is advancing very quickly and it adds a ton of productivity and can process a lot of data. And once you have a proven AI approach, like some of the AI recommendations that we have in the digital experience platforms we provide for our clients, it can actually recommend products to a customer based on behavior and be very accurate based on all the data of all the visitors and all the people and how they're going. It can basically make good recommendations, but make sure you validate it before you put it out. But it will help tremendously in personalized content, personalized product recommendations, things of that nature can be extremely effective.
Absolutely. Great, Steve. Finally, any piece of advice that you want to give to our young listeners today who are trying to make a career in the digital marketing space, or let's say, trying to start their own agency, start their entrepreneurial journey. What is that advice that you'd want to give to them?
Be open-minded, follow the data, and if you're servicing your customer, listen to your customer. They know what they
Very
need,
important.
know what they want, they know their business, listen to them and help be part of their success. Take it as a personal, we take everything we do very personally, that we want to see our customers succeed. And
Absolutely,
that's,
very important pointers there.
yeah, it is really about helping your customer.
Yeah.
And if you aren't constantly making your customer better, you're not doing your job.
Lovely, lovely, Steve. Very important pointers there. And I'm sure our audiences would have benefited a lot out of the insights which you shared. So, really, thank you, Steve, for taking our time and doing this with us. Yeah, really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to work with you and to provide whatever insights might be helpful to others.
Lovely, Steve. Thank you so much.